pleased to welcome back to the Daily Faceoff Show Pete Blackburn for this All 32 delivered by DoorDash. Pete, your Boston Bruins had a big swing in this series against the Carolina Hurricanes, winning both games on home ice to level the series. The big change, of course, the turning point in the series has been the reunion of the perfection line. 16 points they've combined for in these last two games. You see their ice time ticking up since they were reunited by Coach Bruce Cassidy. My question to you is this. One of the other turning points of the Bruins season, Pete, was the idea that they were able to separate these lines and make the Bruins a bit of a deeper team, putting Pasternak on that second line with Taylor Hall. Are the Bruins at risk here going up against the Hurricanes of being a little bit too one-dimensional? Pete, I think your microphone is muted there.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Pete.
Yeah, I think
What's
there's
happening?
definitely a chance. There's definitely a chance that they can become a one-line team, and obviously that's something that they've been trying to get away from for a little bit. But there's also a point where you decide that you need offense, and you try whatever you can to get it. And putting those guys back together has worked for them, and I think that they kind of have to ride that out as much as they can, or ride the hot hand as long as they can, and just hope that the guys behind them do their jobs.
Really started to see the intensity ramp up last game, and Marchand, D'Angelo, they're going back and forth, some choice words that you could read lips pretty easily for Brad Marchand. In this series, when the hate starts to heat up, I mean, which of these two teams do you think has an advantage when it really starts to get going like that?
I mean, past would tell you that it's the Bruins, and obviously over the last game or two, it has been in the Bruins' favor. I still think they're getting outplayed at 5-on-5, but the fact that they were able to get onto the power play as much as they were in Game 4, and the fact that the power play is now again producing, a very strong advantage to the Bruins. But you look at the first couple of games, and Carolina was getting under Boston's skin, and they were taking bad penalties themselves. And we know, looking across the league at how these games have been officiated, I think there's an overcompensation to call things and stick by the rule book and not allow shenanigans. So hate is going to play a role in this series, and I think in pretty much every series. But with Marchand and D'Angelo mixing it up, I would obviously Game 4, suggested that could work in the Bruins' favor, but they need to keep their cool as well.
So the Bruins were without two key defensemen in Game 4, Pete. Hampus Lindholm, Charlie McAvoy out with COVID-19 protocol. Hampus Lindholm skated on Monday, so some positive signs there. Who caught your eye from the back end that stepped up to really help the Bruins out in a time of need?
How about one Derek Forbort? He was a monster in Game 3, and blocking shots, just being a big body. That's kind of the guy that they sold us on as who he would be when they brought him in this offseason. They wanted some tenacity, some grit, some guy who wouldn't be afraid to get dirty on the back end. And Forbort was that in Game 3, was pretty good in Game 4 as well. So if you can get those contributions from the back end defensemen, and then get McAvoy back, get Lindholm back, they're going to be in much better shape to trust three pairs. And so that was a good, encouraging sign for the Bruins. Hopefully Derek Forbort can keep it up, because he wasn't that great during the regular season.
Mike, it looks like you're muted now.
Well, I was just following Pete's lead earlier. Pete, going into the series, there's a big question mark of Ullmark, Swayman. You're looking at Carolina. Freddie Anderson's out. Ranta, oh man, he's out for a little bit. Russian kid comes in. What has been your assessment of the goaltending so far in the series?
Heading into Friday, I would have told you that the Bruins just didn't test Carolina's goaltending enough, especially with those two guys. Obviously you would love to have Freddie if you're the Hurricanes, but the Bruins just didn't do a good enough job testing those two guys to see if there would be an advantage. Linus Ullmark, I thought, kind of got an unfair shake because he wasn't good, he wasn't bad, but the team in front of him was awful, and he didn't really have a chance to stay in this series. The thing that I will say about Jeremy Swayman is that I believe he gives you a better chance to steal a game. I think that Jeremy Swayman has a bit of a higher ceiling. He makes saves that you don't necessarily deserve, or he'll make a surprising save more than Linus Allmark will. And I think the Bruins have kind of needed that. It is a big boost to get a save that you're not expecting. So Swayman's been good, been very impressed. Obviously, not going to be a shock that he continues to keep the net as long as he's playing like this.
Great stuff. Great insight from Pete Blackburn of Bally Sports on the Boston Bruins. Pete and I have a little video series going every day on Bally Sports, The Road to Stanley. So check that out after you're done with our Daily Faceoff Show, and keep it locked on Bally Sports for all of Pete's latest throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. This has been the All 32 delivered by DoorDash. You see the promo codes there at the bottom of your screen. DFODD if you're in Canada, DFODDUS if you're in the United States. That gets you 25% off and free delivery on your first order with DoorDash. Another set of 4 playoff games tonight. You don't want to cook. All your favorites and more delivered right to your door by DoorDash. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.